The movie begins with a man named Nicky playing the flute at the train station. Suddenly, he sees a girl named Brooke running fast to catch the last train, but her phone falls on the ground and breaks. Despite this setback, Brooke continues on her way and reaches the platform at an inopportune moment because the train has left the station. Brooke walks back to the station again, and Nicky walks up to her and gives her back her phone. With only 5 minutes left before the station closes, Nicky notices that Brooke is confused and doesn't know what to do. He comes out of the station and finds her standing alone in the street. He asks her why she is alone, and Brooke tells Nicky that her purse was stolen from the cafe where she was sitting earlier, and she only has her train ticket to get home to Boston. Nicky offers to pay for a taxi to take her home, but he is surprised to find that his card is empty of money. He tries to call his friend named Danny to get some money to help Brooke, but Nicky's phone battery is dead. Brooke thanks Nicky for trying to help her and then leaves. Along the way, Brooke finds 3 perverts in front of her who are unconscious due to alcohol. She seems scared and confused and doesn't know how to behave in this difficult situation. Suddenly, Nicky arrives in time and holds her hand, pretending to be her fiancé to keep any perverts from bothering her. Brooke thanks Nicky for saving her for the second time, and the two get to know each other. From their conversation, we find out that Brooke is married, works as an art consultant, and came to New York to sell one of her paintings. However, she was surprised when her bag was stolen from the cafe, so she was late for the train's departure because of the search for the bag. Nicky is unemployed but spends most of his time playing music at the train station to earn money to help him live. He also has a band audition the next day, which is an important opportunity for him. Nicky offers to go back to where Brooke's bag was stolen in hopes that whoever stole the bag will take the money and throw the bag away. The two arrive at the cafe where the bag was stolen and offer the waiter a big reward if he shows them the thief who stole Brooke's bag. The waiter describes to Brooke and Nicky the address of a gang that works in bag theft and introduces them to someone from the group of thieves who can help them. Nicky and Brooke quickly move to where the members of the gang gather, but Nicky refuses to let Brooke come with him as there may be danger inside. Nicky enters the place alone to meet the mobsters and is surprised that there are a lot of stolen bags. He tries to look for Brooke's bag and ends up finding it, but makes sure the tag is still attached to it. Meanwhile, Brooke uses a phone on the street to call her husband, Michael, and tells him that she sold the painting and her phone fell and broke. But she doesn't tell him about any of the situations that happened with her. Brooke is surprised when she discovers that her husband has changed the date of his return trip. Brooke's husband comes back from his trip the next morning, which means Brooke needs to get home as soon as possible because there is something important she needs to do at home before her husband returns. Meanwhile, the mobsters demand money from Nicky in exchange for Brooke's bag. Nicky tries to negotiate with the mobsters, who see in the surveillance cameras 2 police officers outside the door. The mobsters beat Nicky and take all the bags with them, trying to quickly flee the place. It seems that Brooke informed the cops and admits her mistake in front of Nicky and says she made a stupid decision. Nicky asks Brooke to forget about the suitcase once and for all because she needs to think of a way to get home. Brooke has to tell her husband everything that's going on with her, but Nicky suspects that Brooke is cheating on her husband. Brooke is so mad at him that she would like to leave alone, but Nicky apologizes to her for cheating on her and tells her that he thought she was cheating on her husband because he didn't see the wedding ring on her finger. Brooke won't tell her husband everything that's going on with her. Nicky asks her to give him one last chance to help her get home, and Brooke accepts Nicky's apology. Nicky calls the car rental company to find out the price of a taxi that will take Brooke from New York to her house. After that, Nicky takes Brooke with him to his friend Danny's engagement party, where Danny can help Nicky pay for the taxi to take Brooke home. Brooke and Nicky arrive at the party venue but find that they have gone to the wrong address, where there is another party going on. The party owner mistakes them as members of the band that is going to play at the party and tells them that they're late. Nicky takes advantage of the situation and asks the party owner for some money before the party starts, but the party owner asks him to start playing music while he goes to collect the required money. Brooke looks confused and unsure about how to behave in this difficult situation. Nicky asks Brooke to sing any song she wants, and then Nicky starts playing, and Brooke sings for the first time in her life. The party guests are impressed with their performance, and suddenly, Nicky sees the party owner arrive with signs of anger on her face. He realizes that the party owner has found out about the trick, and they are forced to quickly leave the place. Nikki and Brooke go to the bus station because Nikki knows that the ticket prices at the bus station are low. Unfortunately, they cannot find any buses at the station, and all the other buses will start running the next morning. Nikki becomes sure that Brooke won't be able to go home until her husband returns from his trip. She suggests that Brooke call one of his friends or neighbors to ask for help with what she needs to do at home before her husband's arrival, and the idea seems to appeal to Brooke. The problem Brooke faces now is that she has no phone to call any of her friends or neighbors. Nikki thinks of using anyone's phone who is at the station, and Brooke calls her friend Pam and tells her where the house key is and asks her to come inside the house. Brooke asks her friend to go straight to the bedroom and look for a letter that Brooke wrote to her husband Michael. She also asks her friend to keep the letter and wait for her to come home. Once the call is over, Brooke feels relieved and happy, and then thanks Nikki and expresses her desire to help him with whatever he needs. Nikki asks Brooke for emotional advice and then tells her about his ex-girlfriend Hannah, whom he met in college and dumped because of someone else after a romance that lasted all his college years. He also says that Hannah will be attending his friend Danny's engagement party. Brooke suggests that Nikki go to the party together and pretend that Brooke is his new girlfriend, which may make Hannah jealous. Nikki and Brooke arrive at the engagement party, and Nikki meets his friend Danny, who gives him his bank card and the key to his apartment so that he can sleep there with Brooke. Nikki is busy with his ex-girlfriend Hannah, looking for her among the party guests until he finds her with her new lover. They get to know each other, and Hannah asks Nikki about his situation. But Brooke is the one who responds on his behalf and tells her that Nikki has a musical audition in a band. Brooke is surprised when she notices that Nikki is confused. Nikki asks everyone's permission and tries to leave the party, but Brooke catches up to him and finds out from their conversation that he's seeing Hannah for the first time after they split 6 years ago. He also remembers when he asked Hannah to marry him right after he graduated from college. Nikki is surprised when Hannah rejects his marriage proposal because she sees him as a loser with no future, even though she was the one who encouraged him to play music to the point that he dropped out of medical school because of her encouragement. Brooke advises Nikki to return to the party to speak openly with Hannah and make a final decision to find out his fate with her. Nikki is convinced by Brooke's words and goes to talk to Hannah, but is shocked when he finds out that she is pregnant. Nikki loses hope of a return relationship with Hannah and then decides to leave the party with Brooke, with sadness and anger showing on his face. Brooke tries to console him and tells him that he is an attractive and kind person, and that he can find someone who loves him with all her heart. Brooke and Nikki are standing in front of a psychic's house, and Brooke decides to use the psychic as a way to help Nikki out of his emotional crisis. But the weird thing is that the psychic turns his words to Brooke and tells her that there might be a romance between her and Nikki because he might be the right person for her. Brooke quickly changes the subject and asks the psychic to let her use his phone. Brooke calls her friend Pam, who tells her that she couldn't come into the house because she couldn't find the key. Brooke is very upset and wants to leave quickly, and Nikki notices that she is sad. Nikki suggests they go to a small restaurant and encourages Brooke to talk to him about her problem so he can help her. Brooke reveals that she discovered her husband, Michael, had been cheating on her for a long time, but she chose to remain silent to avoid problems with him because she loves him and wants to preserve their marriage, even though she was at the height of her anger. However, Brooke found out again that Michael was still cheating on her, and it seemed like he had no intention of ending the affair. So she decided to write him a letter telling him that she knew all about his betrayal because she saw all the conversations and photos between him and the other woman. She also left her wedding ring from Michael in the letter. Brooke called Michael and found out that he had broken off the relationship with the other woman, and that was the real reason she insisted on hiding the letter before Michael read it. Nikki tells her that her husband Michael can appreciate the situation she is in, even though he has read the letter, and will surely apologize to her and ask for her forgiveness. Nikki also advises Brooke to confront Michael in case the opposite of what he said earlier happens, and she should be prepared to endure the results of the confrontation. Brooke becomes very emotional and starts crying, then claims she wants to go to the bathroom, but instead goes out into the street and tries to flag down a taxi to leave. However, Nikki sees her and realizes she is distressed and doesn't know what to do. Nikki catches up to Brooke and tries to stop her from leaving, but she tells him that she is going to the airport to travel on the first plane to take her to her mother's house. Nikki reminds her that she can't travel without her passport and asks her to calm down because he won't let her go in that state. Brooke eventually calms down and goes with Nikki to his friend Danny's house. They are both exhausted from everything that happened during the hardest hour on the street, so they each take a shower and then sit down to talk and joke together, having a good time with each other. They find that they are growing closer to each other and feelings of attraction begin to emerge between them. The next morning, Nikki and Brooke walk to the train station and are obviously upset about the timing of their separation. They express their feelings towards each other, saying goodbye with tears streaming from their eyes. At the end of the movie, Brooke gets on the train, and Nikki puts a piece of paper in her pocket, which she later reads with a smile on her face, having experienced both the worst and the best hour of her life. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I always love hearing from my viewers, so feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts on the video or any suggestions for future content. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.